First of all, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our first keynote speaker, Dr Nikolas Tsakos. Those of you who were here in the ballroom last night will have heard that he's the founder, president and chief executive of Tsakos Energy Navigation, a company which owns and operates, I believe, a fleet of around 65 tankers. Is that okay? Ranging across the whole gamut from LNG carriers to VLCCs, Suezmax, Aframax, Panamax, Handymax vessels. He's also chairman of Intertanko, which you all know is the leading organisation representing tanker owners and operators. And he's led this organisation with distinction, taking it into new and more relevant directions and expanding the membership, for example, to include more people in LNG and other areas. He is quite simply one of the most influential people in the tanker business today, and we are delighted to have him with us as one of our keynote speakers. So I welcome Dr. Tsakos.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, Trevor, Clive, thank you very much also for a great evening last night. The whole family enjoyed it. It's really a pleasure to be here in Dubai, and we feel that Dubai is the fastest growing hub in shipping. With events like this, Dubai has earned its place in the core of the maritime centers, and I think Dubai is up there together with London, London with its very long tradition in law and services. However, London is facing the uncertain future of Brexit, so its predominance might be questioned. Another very important center for our industry is Athens, where I come from. It's considered to be the Silicon Valley of shipping startups and operations. Then, of course, Singapore with its Far Eastern flavor and a lot of dynamism. And, of course, then Houston, where with growing exports, you can feel that Houston is becoming a much more important part for the shipping industry, and New York more as a financial center because of the shipping stock market. So Dubai is up there, and congratulations for this very fast and growing diversified center. It's really a pleasure to be here. Today I will take the opportunity to speak about the association that I have the honor to chair, which is Intertanko, and the challenges that we are facing going forward, both financial, operation, and regulation-wise. Let me see. Well, what is Intertanko? Intertanko was established in 1970, based in Oslo, and it was on the aftermath of the oil crisis in 1970, and a lot of ship owners of the time, including Yar and S from Scandinavia, YK Pau for the Far East, and Dionysus and Niarchos from Greece, came together in order to protect the owners' interest in the changing oil environment of the early 70s. The repeat upheavals in prices, the oil shocks as they call them, in 1973 and 79, together with the long crisis of the 80s, gave further strength and purpose to Intertanko's commercial support for its members. Then, for those of us that are old enough to remember, we had the Exxon Valdez, and a lot of technical discussions about double-double, and that naturally turned Intertanko's focus to technical issues for most of the 90s. In the early part of the century, 3 more accidents, the Erika, Prestige, and the continuous accident of piracy, gave Intertanko a lot of legal support for its members. The unprecedented crisis that followed in 2009, the Lehman Brothers collapse and the oversupply bubble has turned the association back to its roots, which have been the commercial roots. What is the association today? We have 70% of all the independent tanker owners sit on our board, on our council. This is the highest level since inception, almost 4,000 ships, and more than 200 full members and associate members. And more importantly, in the recent 2 years, we have increased 90% of all the gas owners in our association. The majority of the members come from Greece. That's where the operation hub is, but it's a very diversified, as you see, list of participants. And the majority of our vessels are crude and products, but with a big increase in the LNG. And we hope that the LNG is going to be a significant future for us going forward. It's an industry we believe very much into. The association depends a lot on its members, and it has 14 committees, all of them manned by members and representatives, and working around the clock to make sure that the interests of the independent ship owner are always served. Our main focused areas, and I think this is very important to look, is of course safety. Safety is in the forefront of our association, and tanker design is a very important part of it. And having gone through the double-double design, this is something that Intertanko played a very significant role for achieving. Also, at the same time, we are facing today under fuels the 2020 sulfur cap, and that's where the association is paying a lot of attention to make sure that we have a level playing field for ship owners. There is a lot of discussion in 2 weeks, in the week of the 22nd of October, we will be participating with all the other roundtable members in discussions at the IMO in order to find a solution what will happen on January 1st, 2020. And we joke and we say that January 1st, 2020 is very similar to what has happened in England with the Brexit. We have a date, but at the end of the day, we do not have a solution how to meet that part of it. The seafarers and the treatment of seafarers is very important for us, also their education. We cannot have state-of-the-art ships without having seafarers of the very high standards. The environment, tankers are moving oil 99.999% environmentally, efficiently, and economically, and they get very little public credit for it. The only time you hear about tankers is when we have an accident, and this is something we try to completely take out of the equation. No accidents and no pollution. So environmental operations are very important for us. And then, of course, the sustainability. Commercial sustainability is in the far front of our goals. There is no one to blame for the performance for the very long crisis we had in tankers, other than ourselves. And ourselves, the ship owners, by over-ordering ships, have really shot ourselves on the foot. Whenever my wife is not here, I say that the tanker market is like a marriage. It has short periods of bliss and long periods of agony. But thank God she's out shopping today, so I can say my joke. Well, however, I think there are many things that we can do to soften the edges and to make the owners' operations more sustainable. The tankers, I'm sure you know, are the only commercial vessels that are paid late and in arrears. The tanker owners, being the weakest link in the energy chain, have to finance the world of oil transportation at a significant cost. All other segments of shipping, like dry cargo and containers, are paid in advance. We believe that the same should be the norm for the tanker market. Even in the spot market, there could be a mechanism where at least we get 80% of the minimum rate in advance. This way, owners could actually be responsible in carrying the cargoes safely and efficiently. I believe that the way forward is challenging, it's full of surprises, but as long as owners stay focused and together by communicating, our goal of an environmentally friendly and sustainable operation will be correct, and there will be a light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr Tsakos. I'm sure we've heard a little bit there about the relevance of Intertanko. If you're not members already, you may want to come and talk to him afterwards. But also some of the key issues around regulatory matters and safety that are going to be dealt with today in a number of presentations, I'm sure.